aerospace. The ultimate unknown. We'll workshop that. It is an era of peace and prosperity, which has made way for unprecedented scientific advancement. You are an aerospace engineer and an entrepreneur who has formed your own space exploration enterprise and set up shop on the renowned Farlight station. But so have 1 to 4 other aerospace engineers/entrepreneurs. What are the odds? And now, in the spirit of friendly competition, you're all going to see who can grow their company the bestest. This is Farlight. Place the station board in the center of the table. Each of you chooses an organization to play as and takes the corresponding primary core card, bidding tiles, and score marker, along with 3 crew tokens from the supply. Put your primary core on the table in front of you, and put your score marker on the 0 space on the station board. Shuffle the 7 industry award tokens, randomly select 3 of them to reveal face up on the station board, and put the rest of them back in the box. Separate the climactic mission cards from the rest of the deck, shuffle them up, reveal 3 of them at random, and put the rest back in the box. Shuffle the rest of the mission cards and deal out 2 on top of each of the climactic mission cards you just selected. Add 1 more to each stack if you're playing with a group of 4 or 5 players. Put the rest of the deck back in the box. Arrange each stack of missions according to their value from lowest to highest, so the high-value climactic mission card is on the bottom of the stack and the lowest value card is on top. If 2 missions in a stack have the same value, order those alphabetically. Fan each stack out like so you can see the mission requirements for each card at a glance, and put them on the table above the station board. Shuffle the parts deck and deal 1 card face up to each slot on the board matching your player count. Put the rest of the deck face down near the board. Count the engine icons on all the parts on the board, then roll that many dice. Match the die with the highest result to the highest numbered icon, the second highest die to the second highest numbered icon, and so on until all rolled dice have been matched with an icon. Put the rest of the dice pool in the designated area in the upper left corner of the board. Put the rest of the crew tokens and the science tokens in supply piles in their corresponding areas. Give the first player token to whoever lives farthest away, and you're ready to get started. A game of Farlight is played over a series of rounds, and ends at the end of the round in which either at least 1 climactic mission is completed, or there aren't enough parts in the supply to refill the station. A round consists of 3 phases: the bidding phase, the assembly phase, and the launch phase. During the bidding phase, each player takes 3 turns. On the first 2 turns, you'll place 2 of your 5 bidding tokens face down on available parts, missions, or facilities. You can choose to place these tokens on 2 different items, or stack them on the same item. The same goes with bids made on later turns. You can choose to add a crew member to 1 or both of the tokens you're placing that turn to increase the value of that bid by 1, but you can't add crew to tokens you placed on previous turns, and you can't add more than 1 crew to each token. On your 3rd turn, you'll only have 1 token left to bid, and while you can see the requirements for completing all missions from the beginning of the game, only the mission cards on the top of each stack, and closest to the board, are available for bidding. Once all players have finished placing their last bid tokens, you'll move on to the assembly phase. Flip all the bid tokens face up and resolve bids for parts and facilities 1 at a time based on which player bid the highest total value for each of them. Don't worry about mission bids yet, we'll get to those in a minute. A bid token is worth the number on its face, and if a crew is added to a bid token, that increases its value by 1. In the event of a tie, whichever tied player was first in the turn order this round wins the bid. You can't win a bid with a value of 0, so if the 0 token is all you used, even if no one else bid on that item, you'd only win that bid if you'd added a crew to the token when you placed it. The winner of each bid reclaims the bid tokens they used on it and returns any crew to the supply. If you win a bid on a part, claim the card and hold on to it for the moment. Just make sure any dice on it stay at their current value. If you win a bid on a facility, immediately gain its associated benefits. The facility with the black refit icon allows you to discard any number of parts already equipped on your ship. This facility with the brown hire icon that looks like 3 men's restroom signs next to each other awards you with 3 crew from the supply. The facility with the purple discover icon gains you 1 science. And the facility with the orange engineer icon allows you to increase the value of one of your engine dice by 1, up to a maximum of 6. The losers of bids for parts and facilities don't discard the crew they used. Those are returned to their bidders. Losing bids are also awarded with 1 crew for each non-zero bid token used, so you'll usually get a little something from bidding, even if you don't end up winning the bid. Once all the parts and facilities bids have been resolved, any players who won parts may install them on their ships simultaneously. Each ship starts with a primary core that has a connector on each of its 4 sides. Each new part will have 1 to 4 matching connectors as well. To install a part, you'll need an open connector to line that part up with, like so. Parts have to match the orientation of your primary core. You can't rotate them to attach them to a connector they don't match with. Some parts have a crew cost on the upper left corner, indicating you have to discard that many crew to the supply in order to install the part. The little hash marks notched into the name placard indicate how many exact copies of that part are in the deck. If you can't, or decide you don't want to install a part you've won, simply return it to the box. Once a part has been installed, it can't be moved to another slot, and the only way to remove it is by using the refit facility. After part installation is complete, all players gain the benefits of the icons on their ships. If there's a lightning bolt next to a benefit icon, you'll only get that benefit on the round the part is installed. If there's one of these icons attached to the benefit, though, that means you get it every assembly phase, including the round it's installed. For each science icon on your ship, you'll gain a science. For each crew icon, gain a crew. Each upgrade icon, which looks like a cube with a little +1 on top, lets you increase one of your engines by 1. And each overhaul icon, which looks like a cube with a little 6 on top, lets you set an engine to its maximum value of 6. You'll probably want to pounce on these parts whenever they show up, because there aren't very many of them in the deck. Finally, during the launch phase, you'll resolve bids on missions. Unlike parts and facilities, losing bids don't get their crew back, and don't get rewarded with new crew. That's because winning a bid on a mission just gives you the first chance at completing it. Starting with the lowest value mission, the highest bidder decides whether they'll be completing the mission or not. Then the second highest bidder, and so on. The first player to complete a mission increases their score by a number equal to the value on the mission card. Every player to complete the mission after that increases their score by half of the card's full value, rounding up as necessary. If at least one player completes the mission, discard that card back to the box once you're all finished with it. Otherwise, leave it on the table for the next round. Missions that require engines of a certain power will show 1 or more dice with a minimum value. You'll need to match each die on the card with an engine of equal or greater value on your ship. Each engine can only be used to fulfill 1 die requirement per mission. Missions that require biotech indicate the minimum number of biotech icons you need on your ship. If you don't have enough to meet or exceed the requirement, you can discard 3 crew to gain 1 temporary biotech. Biotech that's printed on your ship will always stay there to be used on future missions. Temporary biotech purchased with crew is immediately used up on the mission you're using it for. To satisfy a mission's science requirement, simply discard that many science tokens back to the supply. After resolving all missions, check to see if any climactic missions were finished, and if not, check to make sure you have enough parts cards remaining in the deck to refill all the newly empty slots on the board. In either of those instances, move on to endgame scoring. Otherwise, reset for the next round. Place 1 crew on top of each part remaining on the board. The crew are awarded to whoever wins the bid on the corresponding part in future rounds. Refill any empty part spaces with new parts from the deck. Again, if there aren't enough, move on to the endgame. Return all the engine dice that are still on the board to the dice pool. Don't touch the ones on your ships, just the ones that are still on the board. Then, count up all the engine icons on the parts on the board, roll that many dice, and assign them to parts again, just like you did during the initial setup. Pass the first player marker to the left, and begin the next round. At the end of the round in which at least one climactic mission was completed, or there aren't enough parts left to refill the station, the game ends. Check the industry awards you selected at the beginning of the game and award 5 points to the player who won each of them. If there's a tie, all tied players get all 5 points. The Colonist Award goes to the player with the most biotech icons on their ship. The Commander Award goes to whoever has the most crew tokens. Whoever has the fewest number of open connectors on their ship wins the Efficiency Award. And for this one, any connectors that are blocked by cards that don't actually connect to them count as open. Whoever has the most open connectors on their ship wins the Potential Award. And for that one, blocked connectors don't count. The Juggernaut Award goes to the player with the most parts on their ship. The Researcher Award goes to the player with the most science tokens. And the Rocketeer goes to whoever has the highest total of engine pips on the dice on their ship. After industry awards are resolved, all players count their crew and science tokens, divide that total by 3, rounding up as necessary, and add that to their score. Whoever has the highest total wins. If there's a tie, randomly select one of the unused industry awards from the box and use that to break it. Keep doing that until one of the tied players ends up victorious, or until you're out of industry awards, in which case just shake hands and call it a day. And that's everything you need to know to play Farlight. The last page of the rulebook has a handy reference sheet to summarize everything if you ever need a refresher. Safe spacing!